Welcome to the video tutorial on how to configure an SMTP carrier in NotePager Pro to send email. In this tutorial, we'll be going over how to create both relayed and direct delivery SMTP carriers to deliver email. Before we begin, it's important to understand the basics of how SMTP/email can be sent, and we'd recommend having a look at the How NotePager Pro Sends Email video tutorial before going through these steps. You can find it on our website, www.notepage.net, in the Support section. Go to the NotePager Pro section, and you should see the link for the NotePager Pro video tutorials. To start, open NotePager Pro. Next, go to Carriers, Add. Give the carrier a name, something straightforward like Verizon, AT&T, Spock, American Messaging, or even regular email. Next, set the protocol to SMTP. If you're configuring a relayed SMTP carrier, specify the SMTP server's port. If you're configuring a direct SMTP carrier, leave the port at 25. It is recommended that you configure NotePager Pro to relay email. The domain field is automatically appended to the recipient's ID if it doesn't contain an @ sign. This is most often used with cellular and paging carriers. For example, if you're configuring Verizon, you would use vtext.com in the domain field, as that's Verizon's SMS domain. When you want to add a recipient tied to the Verizon carrier, you would just use the 10-digit cell phone number in the ID field. That way, if Verizon ever changes their SMS domain, you just have to update the settings once in the carrier. You won't have to edit every recipient in the program. If you're configuring a relayed SMTP carrier, select Deliver through local/ISP mail server and enter the SMTP server address in the relay server field. If you're configuring a direct delivery SMTP carrier, select Deliver directly to destination server and click on Apply to add the carrier to the list. If you're configuring a relayed SMTP carrier, after entering the SMTP server address in the relay server field, click Advanced. Enter the username required by the SMTP server in the username field. Enter the password required for that account in the password field. Click Back. Click Apply to add the carrier to the list. Click OK. This next part only has to be done once, so if you've already done it, you don't have to do it again. Next, we'll want to go to the Tools, Settings, General section. The sender's email field controls the from value in delivered email and is displayed as the sender of the message to the recipient. It is recommended that you use a valid email address in this field. If you have configured relayed SMTP carriers, you'll need the sender's email field to match the authentication account. For example, if alerts@yourdomain.com is the authentication account, you would also want to use it as the sender's email value. When finished, click Apply. Now all that remains is adding a recipient to use the new carrier. To do that, go to Recipients, Add. Give the recipient a name, anything you like. Set the carrier to the appropriate carrier for the recipient. If this is a Verizon cell phone, you would want to select the Verizon carrier. If this is a regular email address, you would select the carrier created for that, and so on. In the ID field, enter the 10-digit cell phone number, pager number, or full email address you want to contact. When finished, click Apply, and your recipient is now available to message. This concludes the video tutorial on configuring NotePager Pro to send email. For more information, including how to implement the SMTP and WCTP protocols, please visit our website, www.notepage.net.